Okay, add 4 cups of flour, a 4 2/3 cup of, I'm using bread flour, 2 1/4 teaspoons instant active dry yeast, 1/3 of a cup of white sugar, which is right here, and you want a tablespoon of kosher salt. Kosher salt has much larger granules, as you can see. It's not your regular table salt. I'm going to whisk these ingredients together. Okay, once whisked together, you're going to want to make a lovely well within your mixture. And after this, you're going to want to add in a 1/2 cup of whole milk and 2/3 cup of water. Both of these are at room temperature. Alrighty, now we're going to mix this kind of together. Put it on our dough hook for 5 minutes. Going to want to add a quarter cup of 1-inch cut butter cubes into your mix after it has rested for 10 minutes. And then you're going to incorporate that butter in and mix it on a low speed for 8 to 10 minutes. This is perfect looking dough, nice and smooth as you can see. It's nice and stretchy and elasticy. We're going to take 2 cuts like this and place it in a bowl. Use 1.5 cups of unsalted European butter and start beating it to form the shape you desire. Alright, you're going to want to beat the butter. That's how you do it. Just keep beating it. This is an 8 by 8 inch measure. You're gonna beat it so it fills the corners of this. Alright, this is what it should look like complete. Put it in the fridge and let it chill for at least a good half an hour to an hour before you take out the dough. Alright, after the 4-hour rest, you're gonna take it out of the fridge and freeze it for 15 minutes. Measure out your dough 8 by 16 inches, place your butter layer in and fold it. Alrighty, once folded in, you're going to roll it out 24 inches long. Start rolling it out this way, like in this motion. You're going to want this to be vertical. Okay, this is 24 inches long. You're going to fold it 4 times over in half letter styles and half over. And you're going to put in that freezer for 20 minutes because your dough has warmed up by now. Alright, this is what your book style is going to look like. Beat it a little bit and then put it in the freezer for 20 minutes. Okay, once you take your dough out, then you're going to want to re-roll it in that 24 by 8 inch slab, and then we're going to fold it into thirds. Alrighty, once your lovely dough is 2 feet long, you're going to want to fold it in thirds, and then put it in the freezer again, 15-20 minutes, plastic wrap on, then put it in the fridge for an hour, take it out 5 minutes again, and then you're going to shape it into its final form. And it's going to have a long rest for 8 to 12 hours. Alrighty, you're going to want to steam a skillet of water, no more than like an inch or so. It's not a lot of water. Once this becomes a simmer, you're going to want to put this in an oven. Now this step's really important. This is the proofing of the croissants. You're gonna put this pan at the bottom, and then you're gonna put your croissants in this oven and proof them for 2 to 3 hours and I'll show you what they look like when they are proofed. But they should rise and be more puffy. So we're gonna want to do that. So yeah, start simmering your liquid. Okay, this is what it's gonna look like cut. Begin shaping your croissant. Okay, as you can see, the layers in here, you're gonna want to basically make them become closer to equilateral triangles. Stretch them out a little bit, roll them up, and then you're gonna go from there. Okay, here's one of your croissants. You're gonna stretch it. Be very gentle with your stretching. This one looks pretty good. This one's not stretching a ton, but it is stretching. You're gonna cut away a little bit here, and once you cut just a little bit off, you don't need to cut off a ton if it's really not coming to the shape you want. You can bake this later. These are scraps. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Keep stretching. Stretch it as much as you're comfortable with. Some of them are gonna be able to stretch quite a fair amount. However, others will not be able to stretch quite as much. And then once you feel like, holy crap, this thing is melting in my hands, or I don't think I can stretch it anymore without it breaking, as you can see it's starting to break, you can start to roll it up. Now when you roll it up, you want to be careful. You don't want that many air pockets, but at the same time, you don't want to squeeze out the butter. So you're trying to like squeeze it together as much as you can without squeezing out any of that butter. Now I'll be left with something similar to this. Add it to the pile. Don't be too discouraged if they're not beautiful, because they'll always lack some of that quality, but because we're really stinting. Like, these are all the scraps I have. If you want to like create more scraps, you can, but I don't like to waste food, so I am definitely being very stingy on how I'm completing my cuts. The more you cut away, the better shape they'll be, but that's my preference. And we're gonna make the next one. This one might turn out a little better. They're all each kind of unique in their own styles. Some turn out good, some do not turn out quite as good, especially considering I was not super precise in my measurements when I pre-cut them, so definitely prone to making mistakes and them being different sizes. That one turned out pretty good. As you can see, I try to make the corners so they come in. Put it with here. You see that I'm letting it rest on its point, so that point can hopefully get infused with the rest of it. And repeat. Okay, so this is a ham and cheese one. It's pretty much the same. You just put very, very small amount of ham and cheese. And then you're gonna try to roll it up together the best you can. It's okay if some things fall out while you're doing it. It's gonna be a little bit messy, but it's okay. And voila. You got ham and cheese in that croissant. Alright, here they are. They are proofing right now. I'm gonna give them a little bit of time. Okay. After rising, this is what they should look like. We're gonna carefully take them out. Okay, you're gonna separate one egg from its whites. Put in one yolk, a sprinkling of salt, and 1 tablespoon heavy cream, or half and half. Whisk this together and carefully wash your croissants with this lovely egg wash. Okay, as you brush your croissants with the egg wash, you are going to want to be very careful to only get this top part. You're not going to want to brush your layers. As you can see, this is a good example. You're going to want to be very gentle because these croissants are on the rise of falling. So you do not want to poke or prod them. You're going to be very gentle, and you're going to egg wash all of them. Okay, after your first flip, you're going to want to switch the position the croissants on the racks are on. As you can see, this one is not quite as brown as the ones on the bottom. So you're going to switch them after 15 minutes, switch the rack, switch the orientation, and cook it for about another 15 minutes. Okay, these are your croissants after they have been baked. They have baked for about 30 minutes. And you're going to want to put them on a wire rack to cool down. As a side note too, all those extra snippings I just shaped into these little nice dough pieces that you can eat if you wish, or do whatever, but I hate seeing food wasted. So yeah, these are your croissants. You can eat them. You can also flash freeze them, so after they cool you can freeze them and then heat them up again in the oven at 350 for like 7 minutes or so. But yeah, these are the croissants.